Syrian protesters and revolutionaries continue to put their lives on the line fighting for democracy. Question: will the international outcry lead to real change? Syrian-Canadian entrepreneur Hassan Hashimi is the spokesman for the National Coalition to support the Syrian revolution. Mr. Hashimi, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
What can you tell us about what is going on right now in your country, sir?
In my country, our people have decided to claim their freedom and dignity. They have been living under this regime for almost 50 years now, since 1963, under the al-Assad's era since 1970, almost 41 years. So people want, they are asking for their freedom, they're asking for democracy in Syria. And they were denied this right. They were tortured, they were oppressed in the streets. We are getting zero coverage from media. The only help we are getting is from the technologies through Facebook, YouTube. People were able to get over to us some of the footages of what's happening in the streets of Syria, where they are getting hit and tortured and killed.
The media isn't giving you as much coverage as you'd like. Why do you think the media isn't there? Is it because they don't want to be, or is it because it's an extremely dangerous place, as you well know, and the state, the Assad regime, is making it awfully difficult for media to operate? You tell me which of the above is the reason why there's not enough coverage, sir?
No, the reason is that because the Assad's regime is not willing to get any of the media into Syria. Actually, media were trying since March to get into Syria, since the start of the revolution, but they were denied any access. They are preventing them from getting into there. Sometimes they are giving some reasons of the kind of that because of the dangers and whatnot, but that's not the reason. Professional media were willing to participate and get their people over there to take the real picture of what's going on, but they were denied any access to Syria.
Now, sir, is it possible that Assad has learned a lesson that's not very helpful to your movement from Egypt? And the lesson is that media can actually can accelerate the departure of a dictatorship. Is it possible that he was watching what was going on in Egypt and said to himself, I'm not going to allow media to have as much freedom in Syria as they had in Egypt? That was not good for Mubarak.
Yeah, probably that might be one reason, but however, Syria has ever been like this. Syria has never had free media, free press. They have always had a controlled media, controlled press. There is a Minister of Information who, a complete institution, a ministry that's taking care of media over there. The media is under complete control. It has always been like this since day one. Now, of course, having said that, sure, the latest developments in Tunisia and Egypt, I think it showed the strength and the power of media, and that's why they have real trouble with people who are taking pictures and footages. And nowadays, it's a crime in Syria if they find someone with his iPhone or with any phone that is taking pictures in the street. That's now is a crime in the streets of Syria, because they don't want any of what's going on to be known to the international community.
Now, Mr. Hashimi, as you probably know, our Foreign Minister John Baird was in Libya today, or at least a part of Libya that's controlled by the rebels, and he was meeting with the rebels. I have no doubt that various ministers of Western countries could at some point meet face-to-face with the rebels in Syria, but only after they take some control. So it's catch-22. It's a difficult situation without the necessary coverage and without some military support, I suppose, from the outside. It's very difficult to have the kind of scenario we saw today in Libya happening in Syria. So you tell me, what's your best estimate as to when your rebels could take control at least of some of Syria?
First of all, we definitely wish that the Libyan scenario will not repeat itself in Syria. We are insisting on the peaceful demonstrations, peaceful revolution, more of the Egyptian and the Tunisian style rather than the Libyan style. However, having said that, the situation in Syria in terms of communicating with the international community, I think this is a role that the Syrians in exile are taking, and they are in touch with people in Syria. So I think that's right now is the way to kind of communicate and get in touch and get the message across. The situation in Syria, however, we do have now a lot of areas in Syria where are really not under control in terms of, but they are not in the sense of isolated cities in the Libyan style. It's more of that the security forces cannot really now keep up with the revolution. I think last Friday Reuters brought a number that was really stunning even to us. We don't know if this number is accurate, but they were talking about 3 million across Syria, because the revolution in Syria is not in big cities only. It's spread all over Syria in all cities and small villages. I think we counted the last Friday kind of close to 100 different locations across Syria that people are demonstrating. So there are areas in Syria, particularly close to the Turkish border, where security forces are not really under control. But of course, that doesn't mean that it's easy to get there or safe to get there in terms of kind of communication the way that our minister had in Libya. But I think the only way is, like I said, with the Syrians in exile, the opposition, that I'm one of them.
So your belief is that you can make a transition from the totalitarian regime you have now in Syria to a democracy, and this transition can be done peacefully. That's your belief?
That's what we believe, and that's what we hope that we will achieve. We do believe that the Syrian regime is actually, he has been trying since the start to bring the revolution into violence. So because he knows that he'll be best at that, and our people in Syria are really very. We don't have any means of weaponry or arms that we can really do such an operation, and I think the regime realizes that, and he tried in many ways to bring the revolution into violence, but he failed to do so. The people are insisting to pay a very high price, demonstrating with such large numbers. We believe that one demonstrator in Syria really equals to more than 10, or if not 100,000 people, maybe outside, because people all over the world can simply demonstrate without any trouble, but just going out and voicing their sound out. While over there, they know in many cases when they leave their home, they might not come back. So although this is the high price that they are paying, but they are willing to do so just to keep the revolution with its peaceful state and achieve the transition through that peaceful manner.
Mr. Hashimi, thank you so much. Good luck to you and your people. Appreciate you're coming in tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I will just want to probably end with one little statement that because of it is peaceful, the need to the help of the international community in terms of political and diplomatic is really, really very, very important and very necessary, very high. And we believe that although it is really growing and getting better, but it's still slow, and we hope to see a lot more in the coming days.
Good luck to you and your people, Mr. Hashimi.
Thank you very much. Thank you.